Hello, everyone. I'm Cheryl Carr, your work doctor, and this is an achievement pop up. I just decided I needed to come on live and share some information and just discuss something as a result of a conversation I've had with my coach. Um, and we were discussing my COVID recovery and very important takeaways, things that are really evident to me right now. And one of the things that I really feel led to talk to people about, and I'll probably talk a whole lot more on a broader scale on my show Monday at 10 a.m. CST. I will be talking more about pandemic proactivity or proactiveness. And I'll also talk about pandemic recovery because we're starting to enter that next phase. We've been in this just trying to cope with COVID, cope with the losses, the medical responses. We're now getting vaccinated. Hospital rates are dropping, death rates are dropping. But what's very interesting is the contracting COVID isn't dropping because the strains have changed and people are now contracting COVID. And there's a new strain out of South Africa that's like 50% of contracting COVID or COVID rates just in one day in a city, a major city. So the thing that I really feel led to just share with everyone that I think is really important because I'm super hyper organized, even though I don't have children and I'm a single woman. My business is organized. I have a will. I have a right to life, and I have directives. I have insurance. I have life insurance. I have those things in place to help my family in case something tragic happens to me. But what was missing were two very important things. And I just saw an article yesterday or a show yesterday. Ooh, and I need a haircut. That's the one thing. My hair grew like a weed. But anyway, that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm just looking at my hair in here. But anywho, back to my point. I saw a gentleman who both of his parents, his older parents, became ill and in the ICU and almost left here with COVID. And while they were in that state, he learned neither of them had shared passwords. He couldn't get into their computers. He couldn't get into their home. I mean, there was so many things that he learned he didn't have access to that I want to point out to people. There's a book called In Case You Get Hit by a Bus, How to Organize Your Life Now for When You're Not Around Later. I highly recommend that book. It's called In Case You Get Hit by a Bus. This book is a short synopsis of everything that I experienced when I wasn't able to communicate. And I was grateful that New Year's Eve, yes, actually New Year's Eve, I had a colonoscopy because my doctor got sick. My surgeon, my gastrointestinal surgeon got sick when I was supposed to have my surgery. So he rescheduled it for a time period that worked for him. And it just happened to be New Year's Eve. Yay me. But anyway, I mentioned that because I had to provide my brother, who's living with me right now, I had to provide him with all this information, where to find my will, who I was insured through, what the policies directed. I had to make sure he knew my directives, my medical directives, because the hospital doing the colonoscopy, they demand copies of that. And a lot of people I'm finding don't have this information. I have to write down my passwords to my phone and my passwords to my computer for him and put those things where he could get to them. And I'm saying that because when I became ill again, I wasn't able to communicate. I was delirious. So there were a lot of things that you need to have someone you trust informed about key things in your life. And it's not enough that, oh, my spouse should know all of this stuff. No, have this conversation with one another. Point out where things are. Place another child, or older child, or a sibling, or someone you trust, a dear friend, in place this information digitally, and make sure somebody knows how to get in these doggone devices. I know that might be scary for those of you who you don't want nobody on your phone. So if you need to put that information somewhere where it can only be accessed if you can't share it, do that. But I just wanted to pop on and share that with you because as we talked a lot about COOP, its continuity of business. That, I'm going to make sure my businesses are functional and that I can take care of the people that work with me, the team members that I have, that are, it's important to me to employ people, but they need to, if I'm sick or if I'm incapacitated, or God forbid, should I die, they're taken care of. And I continue to stress things that really jumped out at me because, again, like I said, I know I'm hyper organized. I have things in key places in my life that are taken care of: will, insurance, life insurance, business insurance, all those things that are so vital and important. But that little step of your phones, your passwords to your computers, everything to keep business going if something happens to you. You've got to make a continuity of business, the business of your life. Make sure you pay attention to that. And I'm saying that because, no, you don't want to use it. I hope nobody ever collects on my insurance policies. That's the plan. That's one of the reasons why I got them. Because as long as you're insured, ain't nothing going to happen to you. But anyway, that's a joke. That's a family joke. We have that kind of probably morbid kind of humor, but that's what we say. So, yeah, that's that show. I'm watching that son who wasn't able to do anything for his parents because he didn't have access. He just didn't have that information. And a lot of us, we have smart homes. So our homes are smart and run on our phones and run on our computers. And if somebody can't even unlock your door, if they can't get in your phone, those things are important. So get the book. It's called If You Get Hit by a Bus. It's kind of a morbid title, isn't it? But no, it's called In Case You Get Hit by a Bus: How to Organize Your Life Now for When You're Not Around Later. That's the name of the book. And if not, get the book. At least go online. You can find PDFs where you can list your insurance policies, put your passwords, and make sure people can communicate for you if you can't. And if you don't have medical directives, In this pandemic world, I want to encourage you to get directives, get a will, um, do that for your loved ones, do that for yourself. Um, don't stick your head in the sand and think, oh, it's just COVID. No, people are leaving here. Um, and you need to be aware of these things. So that's all I wanted to say. Monday, 10 a.m., Cheryl Carr, your work doctor. I will be talking some more about proactive pandemic behaviors, and I'll be talking some more about pandemic recovery, and I'll be talking some more about the takeaways that I think it's important for me to tell this story from this experience with this perspective. So, have a great rest of your day. As you can hear, my voice is stronger. I feel um, I'm resting more. I've gone back to resting more simply because COVID is so moody. I'll call it bipolar, actually. You'll feel fine one minute, and then the next minute you're like, oh, that's interesting. So, hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. And I hope there was some information shared with you that you'll find useful and that you'll do something with. Please um, do some, if you get hit by a bus, things. Make sure someone can access your information and communicate for you on your behalf if something were, God forbid, to happen and you can't. Okay? Bye. I'll see you guys on Monday, 10 a.m. Cheryl Carr, your work doctor. Bye. Bye, I think.